It was once an outpost of camels and nomads. Now the ships of the desert come with fuel-injected four-wheel drives. The desert has become a weekend diversion for these sons of nomads. In just one generation, they've turned a wasteland into an international trading hub. Beyond the sand dunes is a city unlike anything the Middle East has ever seen.
We are a unique experience. We have mixed the Orient, the West, and the Arabic civilization all together in one formula to produce something what we call Dubai. We do not have the pyramids, we do not have the Taj Mahal, we do not have the Petra of Jordan, but in our unique way, we have created a new formula.
I want everybody in the house to sing this song with me tonight. Come on!
Part of that formula is being an oasis of hedonism in the Arab world. Dubai is a state of the conservative Islamic country, the United Arab Emirates. But every night its clubs fill with the United Nations of rich fun seekers. Arabs come from neighbouring Iraq and Saudi Arabia to do things they could never do at home. Businessmen come from the West to make money from the Arabs. Women come from Russia and Asia to make money from everyone. It's been a wild few years for this Middle Eastern boomtown, but for many, the party's over.
There are thousands and thousands of unfinished properties lying around on the desert, unattended. People either just dump them or they can't make the payments. It's a big dilemma for everybody now.
Let's pick a problem. Let's pick the dolls. Which one do you want?
Cem Bayulan is a Turkish investment banker.
The little bear?
He arrived in Dubai 3 years ago when the boom was at its height. For the past year, he and his American wife, Chiren, have been struggling to survive the crash.
We actually signed for the loan of this big house and then found out I was pregnant, and then the crash happened. So it all happened one after another. It was quite a stressful time for us, for sure.
The global recession sent giant cracks through Dubai's glittering facade. The city went into panic in November when the state-owned property developer defaulted. Many foreigners who came to make easy money have fled the country.
So many people lost their jobs and subsequently their homes, their cars, etc. One thing that differs Dubai probably from the rest of the world is this is an expat-driven country. So people actually have the option of just leaving everything behind and go back to their country.
Some just drove to the airport and dumped their cars, leaving their businesses and debts behind. Their impounded cars are now gathering sand inside the city's police academy. Now, no one can say how many people left this way, but estimates run into the hundreds, even the thousands. And there's good reason why some people would want to flee. Because if you can't pay your debts here, even if you bounce a cheque, you won't just be stopped from leaving the country, you can end up in jail. Dubai's prisons now hold scores of once successful entrepreneurs who didn't escape in time. When the market crashed and their businesses folded, some were imprisoned to force them to pay their debts. Others were jailed over financial disputes. Australian businessman Marcus Lee spent 9 months in prison and is now on bail. He and his wife Julie are confident the charges will be dismissed, but in the meantime they can't leave the country. The case and their lives have been on hold for several months because the government witness keeps failing to turn up at court. Like others trapped in Dubai, the Lees declined to be interviewed for this story for fear of jeopardising the case.
I heard some Westerners in jail that got tuberculosis or, infectious diseases. Imagine those people 2 years from now, 3 years from now. They might die over there. Dubai is not an open society. It's not an open country. It's really, really a cage. And believe me when I say that, it is a cage.
Hervé Jobert escaped by boat before he was arrested for debts he claimed he never owed. He now lives in the US state of Florida.
I tried to fight it, but in Dubai there's no way, absolutely no way. I realized that quickly, that you cannot fight it. You cannot have a fair hearing, you cannot have a fair trial. If you are in that kind of situation, you are going to lose.
Like Dubai itself, the court system appears modern and sophisticated. At this recent opening of a new courthouse, we were shown the latest in high-tech facilities and user-friendly software. But foreigners are now finding that the laws they enforce have changed little since Dubai was a desert outpost. There is no such thing as bankruptcy. Financial disputes are treated as crimes.
When they put you in jail, it's not for 3 or 5 years. They put you in jail until you pay what they want you to pay. So if you don't pay or if you cannot pay, regardless of the reason, they keep you in jail indefinitely.
Jobert came to Dubai to develop recreational submarines for tourists and rich Emiratis.
A revolutionary line of submersibles by Hervé Jobert.
He soon found himself hobnobbing with Dubai's finest, including its feudal ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. But when the company went under, his